Okay. See, so what we have been doing so far, okay, was trying to implement a certain logic. Okay, we were trying to implement a certain logic. So logic was and to add two numbers. Okay, so let's find out the logic. Okay, take two numbers. Okay, perform this. Or you need to add a prime. You need to find a prime number. Okay, this is the logic. We need to check if the number is prime or not. Right? But that's not how our real life is. In our reality, you know, we all are an identity. We all have an identity. You have an identity. I have an identity. Everybody has an identity. And the process is part of that identity. Now, for example, taking this training, okay, is one of the work that I am doing and you are doing, right? And as an identity, I do a lot of other things. You do a lot of other things. One such work is that we are working together on this at this time on this Python thing, right? So, earlier, before C++ came into picture, the way we were doing that was the original idea of programming. Okay, let's take a problem, solve it. But then with C++, people started thinking, no, that's not the right way. We have to think from object-oriented programming language, okay, where we need to put object as an center, and the process or the algorithms that we write will be a part of it, okay. We should not let algorithm drive the way. It is the object that should drive the way. Algorithm is one such part of it. So for example, when we did list and tuple or dictionaries, for example, or even for string, okay, you had append and insert, delete, update. They were the algorithms, but that is not important. What is important is a list. When you define a list, right? List is important, and in list, one of such activities append, one such activity is pop, isn't it? Or insert is one such activity of list. But main thing is the data which is of type list. Same thing which is of type string. Okay, and that's how we do programming. Okay, so that's why I told you from now onwards we have to do program differently. Okay, how this thing came into being is now. See, when I tell you that I am eating an apple, right? Now you will not ask me, okay, what is apple? Will you ask me what is apple?
No.
No. Why?
Everyone knows it. That's a fruit and all.
Yeah, okay, not everyone. Okay, who has gone to school and teacher has taught A for apple, right? So A for apple, okay, that we learn, or apple fruit or apple orange, let's say car, dog, human being, okay, they have a global meaning, okay. And if you know that object, okay. Now if you have never heard of apple, if you never heard or seen an apple, then you'll ask me what is apple, right? But if you heard of apple, then definitely you're not going to ask me what apple is, because you know what apple is, okay. So we need to define an object first, okay. We need to tell what an apple is first. And once you know what an apple is, then you don't have to tell everyone every time that this is apple. That's why we learn these objects, right? B for book, C for cat, D for dog, because once you know that this is cat, this is dog, you can talk like as if we know what cat is. Okay. So what you will not ask me what apple is, okay, but you can ask me, is it Indian apple or Australian apple or Fiji apple or Washington apple? That you can ask me. So there are some properties which is common for all the class, which is defined when you learn it, right? So if I tell you I have a dog as my pet, you will not ask me how many legs it has, how many tails it has. You will not ask me, isn't it? What you will ask me is what is the color of the dog, what is the breed of the dog, right? So there are some properties which are common across the class itself, okay. And there's some properties which is, okay, specific for the object. Now, going back to what we have seen, what we have used class and object so far. Let's say list, right? Now, for list, you will not ask me, okay, um, uh, like what is a list, because you know what is a list. You know that if I say append, okay, you will not ask me what is append, because you know that list is as an append. What you'll ask me is, what should I append, right? You'll ask me, what should I append, because that is a object specific thing. Okay, so there are some class specific things which are common for all the class, and there are some object specific thing which is specific to the object that you are working. Okay. Okay, so that's how your class and object works, and we will see how to create a class. Okay, creating class means defining. Okay, creating a definition which is common for everyone. Okay, so you need to define once. You need to be taught about Apple once. Without knowing Apple even one time, you cannot. Okay, then you will ask me what Apple is. So you need to be taught Apple once, and once you know, then second time onward you will not be required to tell you what Apple is, right? So just like we created function definition, we need to create class definition. Yes, just like we created function definition, we need to create class definition as well. So how do we create a class definition? Okay, so for creating a class, we write class. You should be able to see my screen, correct? So
Yeah.
we have to say class, CLAS, class. Okay, class, and let's say I say person, better. Okay, so you have class and you have class person, and then you say colon. So now this means you are declaring or you're defining a class. Okay, we are defining a class called person. Great. Now, class can have two types of members. Okay, you have variables and functions. Okay, variable, which of course means you are going to add few things like number of legs. Okay, if you talk about dog class itself, number of legs is a variable, right? 4. And dog can bark is your function. So function generally we refer as methods in class. Okay, it's a function only, but we refer as method. So I'm going to talk about person. Okay, now person means human being, right? You and me, we have. Now tell me variable name, okay, that we have, will it be class level or object level? So class is definition. Apple is a class. But when you eat a class, or when I'm eating a class, or I'm holding a class, it is specific class, right? It's specific Apple. Okay, it is not the definition. Definition is to tell you what it is, right? In school, when you see a photo, it is a definition. But when you eat, you're eating a specific apple. That's the object. So object class will be only one, and objects can be many. You can create plenty of object, but all of them should belong to class Apple only, right? So that's the difference between class and object. So object is the usable form of class. We say instant of the class. Okay, usable form of a class. Okay, so person. Okay, um, the name, will it be at class level or object level?
Name is object level only, right?
Object level, yes, you're right. Okay, it is individual object, right? Just like the breed of the dog, right? Color of the dog is that object, specific object that you are holding, you're talking about. Okay, now can you give me one example of variable which is class level?
Humans.
No,
No.
No, see, a person, are you related to woman? You are woman because your gender is woman, right? So you can say gender, but gender is again on object level. So if I'm saying that, okay, I have Geeta, so the gender is at Geeta level, right? Not at person level, correct? Gender, okay, it should be something which is common for all the object, something which is common for all the object, okay? Okay, so that's why you have very less thing which is at class level, right? Like I said, number of legs, right? So number of legs will be same for all the object of dog class, right? So maybe here you can say population, isn't it? Population. So population is 0, okay, initially. As you create object, it will get increased by 1. So population has become a variable which is common for all the object of human class, correct? What is the population if I ask you? So whether it is asking me or asking you or asking anybody else, answer will be same, isn't it? Population is this. Population, okay, is the number of people. So number of people doesn't change with respect to me, you. It is common, correct? So population is your what we call as class level variable. Okay. So mostly, okay, we use object level functions and object level class only. Mostly we use. Okay. Class level variables, class level functions are less. Okay, but they are there. They have their own significant. We'll learn, right? But okay, they are less, but okay, but that's okay. So we'll learn what is there, right? So this is your class level variable. Now I define a object level. Okay, so when you define, how do you know it is a class level or object level? One way to know is that you have a simple variable. When you have a simple variable, it means it is a class level. So you'll have it, you'll have something like cls dot cls or just a variable. Okay, now you can have a function called as def. Okay, um assign name, right? Or welcome. So we have a function called welcome. The moment I put bracket open, intelligent editor, IDE, okay, integrated development environment, IDE or intelligent editor, it knows that you want to type self, and it already, the moment I say bracket open, it typed self. Self indicates it's an object level. So whenever you see self, it means it's a object level, whatever, function or variable. So in this case, I'm writing a function method, right? So it is a object level method, right? So this is how we write. So by default, we have seen function, how to write function, right? The function definition will have self and then anything else, right? A comma B. It can take multiple values input. Okay, for now, we'll not give any, but later when we see more examples, we'll see that it can take input variables or arguments. Okay, so our first has to be self. First one has to be self. Okay, whatever you see, variable that will come after self. Okay, so self comma, you can have ABC, but for now I'm taking a function without any arguments. Okay, I'm taking a function without any arguments. Okay, so I go here and I simply say print welcome to the world, something like this I say. Okay, and let's say we assign, okay, let's have this. So see, there are 4 types of members that can be. 4 types I'm saying. Number of members can be anything, can be 100, 500. Types, you can have only maximum 4. What are those? Can you guess? So you have class level variable, class level method, object level variables, and object level method. Okay, class level variable, class level method, object level variable, object level method. Okay, out of 4, we are working with just 2 right now. That is class level variable and okay, object level method. So this is object level method. Okay, okay. So how do we create and how do we use it? Okay, so this is the definition, class level definition. Now to use it, I told you we cannot use a class. We have to create object and use it, isn't it? We have to create object and use it, right? So how to create object? Okay, so to create object, we have to say object name p1 equal to person bracket open and close. So this is the class name that I have given. Same I have to give here. So now p1 becomes object of class person. Okay, so now you this is the moment we said, okay, earlier when we said L1 equal to this, L1 became object of class list, right? When we say L1 equal to this, L1 has become object of class list. When I say L1 equal to 10, L1 has become object of class integer. Okay, so similarly, P1 equal to person has become object of class person, has become object of class person. Now I can say P1 dot. The moment I say P1 dot, you can see the members here. Okay, M for methods and F for variable. Okay, so you have population and you have welcome. Okay, now I say P1 dot welcome. That's why we said L1 dot append, right? So the moment you say P1 equal to person, P1 becomes object of class person. So all the members of class is available for P1. So when I say P1 dot welcome, okay, P1 will have access to all the everything that we have learned. So this is like teacher telling us A for apple, learning A for apple. Now this is the usage. I can create P1 also. Sorry, P2 also. I can say P2, I can create P3, I can create P1000, right? P3 equal to person, I can say P3 dot welcome. Okay, now when you run it, welcome to the world, this welcome is coming from P1, P1 dot welcome, and this coming from P3 dot welcome. Makes sense? So, you can have members coming in from various side, various aspect, or creating a multiple copies. Okay, basically we are creating a multiple copies of a class. Okay, of course person is only one, but you will have multiple objects that can be created. Okay, okay, now let's say I want to create this. Okay, and at the same time, okay, at the same time I want to add some members to the, okay, as I said, right, you have a specific you there? Okay, so as I said, you have specific values which are specific to the object, right? So let's say I create this person and want to assign a name. Okay, so I can say I'll assign it to using method welcome. So I will say comma name. Okay, so now when I call welcome, I will pass a name. Let's say I pass Sachin. Okay, so you don't pass anything to self. Okay, so in method, self will be the first key and it indicates it's a method. Okay, so we don't pass anything to self here. Okay, but we pass to name. So name when you pass Sachin. Okay, so this has become your required positional argument. So when I run P3, this will throw error. Why error? Welcome missing one required positional argument name. So we have to give name here. Okay, so you have to give name like let's say um, Lakshman. And now I'll say I'm going to create a object specific variable. So to create object specific variable, you say self dot name. Now this name is different variable. This is, as you said, arguments. You are reading the argument, and this is a new argument, a new variable which I'm creating for an object self dot class cls dot. Okay, object self dot name equal to name. Okay, now I can create one more method here called def print. Okay, so see, now print is also a method which is there, right? Function which is there. When you have a global and a local, print is a global, right? It will, local will always override global. So if I say print, so next time when I use print, it will be taken as this object print. Okay, the print will lose its meaning. Okay, so let's not use print. Let's use something which is different, which does not conflict with the inbuilt functions. I say display. Okay, moment I say display, now I'll say display print. Okay, welcome to. Now I'm going to say self dot name. You see, the name has come. So now we have three members. This class has three members. Population, which is class level. Welcome, so population, which is class level variable. Welcome, which is object level method. Display, which is object level method. And fourth member is, so we have four. Fourth is self dot name. So name, which is object level. The moment I say object level, it means self dot. Okay. So name is an object level variable. So we have four members. This class has four members, so on. So now when I provide P1 is Sachin and P3 is Lakshman. See here. Okay, I'm not passing this. Okay, I'm just saying self dot name because they're part of same class. It knows what is self dot name. Okay, so when I say P3 dot display, it knows, oh, P3 self name is Lakshman. So it should be Lakshman here. Because it is object specific, right? It's object specific. That's why it has no confusion whether it should be Sachin or Lakshman. Okay. Okay. So now we'll do one more. So so we have created this. Now I want to show you one more thing. Now this is population, correct? Now I want to increase the population. So how will I do? The moment when you say welcome, you increase the count by one, right? So you say um, here um, say person, okay, class name person dot population. Okay, plus equal to 1. So percent population plus equal to 1, right? In display, I'm saying welcome to self.name, okay? And I'm saying print total population, okay? So total population, and I'll say total population, comma, person dot population. Okay. Now, when you create multiple values, let's say P1 equal to person, right? Let me create P2, P3, P4. So P2, P4, and P5. Okay. And I will call welcome every time, right? So now I'm going to call P2 dot welcome, P4, P5 dot welcome. P2, P4, and P5. Okay. And I give some name. Okay. So now what is the population? Population count has increased by 4, right? So if I say P3 dot display, okay, now I move this display from here and I'll put it at the end. Okay, now I run it. So see, welcome to the world. This is P1, this is P3, P2, P4, P5. Welcome to the Lakshman. Welcome to Lakshman because I'm calling P3. So P3 knows that, okay, Lakshman is the name of P3 object, but total population is 5. So whether you call P1 dot or P2 dot, okay, anything dot display, if you call like P4 dot display, will also give us same value for P4 dot display. Okay. So P4 dot display will call the P4 name. P4 name is Geeta, but population is 5 only, because population is a class level. It has same meaning across all the object. All the objects gives you same value. Okay, because it's a class level thing. Okay, but your name is object level, so they are giving you different value. P1 will have different, P2 will have different, P3 will have different, right? Okay, so this is how we define a class, and we can define the members of this class.